Hello everybody, it's nice to see you again. I thought I'd like to introduce you to my two dogs. They're not going to stay with us for very long. This one here, he's looking at his biscuit, is called Stanley and he's a border collie sheepdog. Oh, he wants his biscuit. And this one is called Sasha and she also is a collie, but she's a New Zealand collie. Now these two dogs, if they were proper working dogs, would be very important for looking after the sheep. This one would be, when she was working, would be sent out to find the sheep and disturb sheep. And this one, oh, he's now lying down, would then be told to go and find them and go and look for them. Come on, he is a bit lazy though, and he likes to lie down a lot. So you can only just see his head. There he is. He's having another biscuit. And another one. I think I'm going to send them out now because I want to tell you a story, and you'll wonder why I'm telling you a story with the dogs, but they won't behave themselves. So I think I'll let them go if they want to, and let me get on and tell you the story. Off you go then. Oh, perhaps they want to stay with me and have a story. Go on then. They've gone. So we can relax. Now, why am I talking about sheepdogs? Well, it's because I want to talk about sheep today and bringing sheep in, because that's what sheepdogs do. As I said, Sasha, the black one, would have gone and disturbed them and woken them up, if you like, or told them, hang on, you're needed. And Stanley, the border collie, his real special ability would be to round them all up and to bring them in and to bring them into a pen or a fold. Sheepfold. Well, you see, that reminds me of a story. I'm going to read this from my children's Bible. It's called Jesus Says I Am, because Jesus made lots of I am statements. I am this, I am that, and I am the good shepherd. In the land where Jesus lived, a shepherd had a terribly hard life. Every day he had to wander far and wide, looking for enough grass for his sheep. You see, they didn't have sheepdogs in Jesus' time in that part of the world. Too hot for them, really. Streams soon dried up in a hot sun, and the shepherd would have to find running water for the sheep to drink. Sometimes a shepherd would even risk his life, rescuing a sheep that had fallen over a cliff or into a ravine. And he certainly would have had to spend a lot of time driving off wild animals that would attack his flock. King David, who you might have heard of in the Old Testament, he was once a shepherd, and God's care for him reminded him of the way in which he looked after his sheep. God is my shepherd, David sang. I have everything I need. Some of you might have heard that song. The Lord is my shepherd. And it's written in Psalm 23, which King David wrote. I am the good shepherd, Jesus told his listeners one day. I'm willing to give my life for my sheep. A true shepherd is very different from one who is hired to help and doesn't really care for the flock. So sometimes people would pay somebody to look after their sheep, but perhaps they didn't do it very well. And the paid help could possibly run off if they saw a nasty beast coming, a wolf or something coming. He wouldn't really care for the flock of sheep like he would if they were really his own sheep. But the shepherd who loves his sheep will risk his life to save them. As I said, the shepherds often had to do that. And Jesus said, I am going to give my life for my sheep. My sheep. Who on earth are Jesus' sheep then? And he said, my sheep are the people who know me and listen to my call. I know every one of my sheep, and no one can snatch them away from me, from my loving care, and everyone can be my sheep. My sheep recognize my voice and come when I call. Jesus was showing in a picture way that he was the person who looks after all of us who listen to Jesus' word and do his word. We aren't silly like sheep, but we listen to Jesus, and Jesus holds us in his fold, in his care, by his love. And he said that it wasn't just for the people who knew him very well, it was for everybody, so we can all be his sheep. And when my sheep hear my voice, they will follow me. And so what he was saying by that was that if we're real followers of Jesus and we want to follow the way that Jesus has taught us about loving and caring people, Jesus wants us to be the sheep and follow him. He wants us to be in his fold, that we would call where you might pen sheep in. He wants us to listen to his word and do the things he has taught us to do. So, sheepdogs go and round up the sheep in this country and in other countries, in New Zealand, like my black dog came from. But Jesus said that I don't need anybody else to round things up for me, for sheep up for me, because my sheep hear my voice and they come to me. So we, as followers of Jesus and the way that he has taught, are like sheep, and we're all loved by Jesus and held into his flock. We're all part of Jesus' flock. And if we're part of Jesus' flock, we won't be frightened by anything. Sheep might be frightened in Jesus' time by wolves, and our sheep now might be frightened by wild dogs and things like that running amongst them. But Jesus says if we're his sheep, we're not frightened by anybody or anything, because we know we have Jesus' love, and that is always with us. And he's always loving and caring for us, and we're never alone. That's a wonderful thought, isn't it? Well, I'm going to have to go and take my two dogs now out for a walk. I think they were patient enough for 2 or 3 minutes, but they certainly will want their walk now. It's been nice talking to you again, and would you believe one of them has just come in the room asking to go for a walk. Well, here they come. They're saying, come on, Kate, it's time for our walk. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story about the sheep and you enjoyed meeting my sheepdogs. But remember, Jesus is our shepherd. He's the person who loves and cares for us. We just have to listen to his voice, listen to his teachings, and carry that out. Well, it's been lovely talking to you today. Speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.